So I managed to win my hand at a Rainbow Six Siege beta key, and have played it enough to be able to give some first-hand impressions of the game. Of course, this is a closed beta, so it is not representative of the final game, but it does seem near finished in my eyes anyway. So just to briefly explain the multiplayer mode, in the game you're either playing as the attacker or defender, and you switch between the two after each round. There's 4 rounds in total, and it goes into like a sudden death mode if you draw. As you've probably seen in the trailer, this game revolves around you defending or attacking a building. You can choose to spawn in different areas of the building to defend the objectives, or choose which side of the building you want to attack from. At the moment there's only 3 maps that are playable, and you can play them on the daytime or the nighttime. But the multiplayer mode is actually split into 2, which matchmaking chooses for you. You first got TDM Bomb, where you're trying to defend 2 bombs, or as the other team you're trying to defuse one of the 2 bombs. And the next one is called Secure Area, which is similar to Capture the Flag, where the attacking team are trying to capture the objective for at least 10 seconds, but you win the round either way if you wipe out the other team. Apart from the multiplayer mode, there's also a PvE mode where you team up with 4 other people and fight AI. The game's mechanics is really simple, as you're either defending objectives by barricading openings and reinforcing walls, because you want to try and restrict as much access to the attacker as possible. The attackers also have tools like breach charges to get through defenses. I also forgot to mention that you can unlock characters in the game. They all have special tools, like one of the characters has a sledgehammer that you can use to break down barricades, and any weaknesses in the walls as well you can break, instead of just blowing through them, which just saves some time. So in the top right of the game you can see the in-game currency, which you get at the end of every match. You obviously get more for winning, and depending on your performance as well. You can use these to buy new characters and weapon attachments for your loadouts. Each loadout is actually bogged down to each character you unlock. So if you brought a red dot sight for like the smoke character, you can't use that custom weapon on another character. You actually have to customize each character's equipment. When you start the match though, you're given the chance to select one of these characters if you've unlocked them. But only one person can be a character, sorry. So if you're like me and you haven't bothered to unlock the other characters, then it's a race to clock on the character you want before another member of your team takes the spot. Weapon customization, as I said, is also tied down to your unlocked characters, so if you're not able to choose the character that you want, the game actually gives you these default loadouts that you can use, but you can't use your weapon attachments that you've purchased before. You can actually select from a range of units like the SAS, Spetsnaz, and they all have their different weapons. So to talk a bit more about gameplay, this game's very flexible because you've obviously got a variety of options available to you of how you want to attack or defend. You can obviously rush in and surprise the enemy, or just take it slow. It's completely up to you. But this game is very much a team game, especially if everyone else you're playing up against is competent. You'd want to be working together. If you're trying to do everything by yourself, you're just gonna get taken down. Generally speaking though, gunplay is very fast paced. It takes about 3 or 4 shots just to kill someone, and headshots are an insta kill. Most of the weapons have a fast fire rate, so it all comes down to how well you're aiming, as you don't really have to control recoil anyway, what I've found from all the guns. You can also use the shields on the game, which I find are really OP, in my opinion anyway. I think they're OP because you're allowed to use your pistol as a support weapon. That's all fine with me, but the issue is, it's still 3 or 4 shots with the pistol to kill someone, and the recoil whilst using a shield is really considerate as well. Not to mention you have a full pistol size of ammo to blow through, so that's like 40 bullets to burn through, and you can even reload with the shield up. I mean, they could fix this easily, but making it so that you have to put your shield away to reload your pistol, or just making pistols weaker, because barging in with a shield becomes a really easy tactic. I mean, people have been going in with 2 or 3 shields and just rushing at people. Anyway, some of you are probably wondering, how does this game compare to another game like Counter-Strike, or is it even good enough to be a competitive game? And in my opinion, I think there's a good possibility that it can happen. The game does involve you working as a team, and what I've found is just lone wolfing everything will not work, especially when you're playing with people who have unlocked everything. It's, as I said before, it is a team game. I also feel that the guns do need a bit of work. I mean, it's not like Counter-Strike where you have a window to react to an attacker, because this game the guns are very powerful and you're pretty much dead from getting shot through walls or from behind. You do have a chance to recover, but that's only if your teammate can get to you in time, but most people make sure you're double tapped and that you're actually dead. It's always a possibility though that you can get into the competitive scene. It is still a tactical game because working together gives you a massive advantage over teams that don't communicate. Though, just to talk about some of the bugs on the game, this game is running really well on my GTX 970. I mean, I'm always getting above 144 Hz. I'll probably put a benchmark test in the description because this video is obviously getting recorded at 60. I mean, it's not the most graphically advanced game, so it doesn't surprise me that I'm getting good performance. But I also think that I'm one of the lucky few because people are still reporting low frame rate. So, as I said though, this game still runs very well on older cards. I've been reading some of the forums and people are getting over 60. Frame rate issues will probably be sorted though when it's released, or so we hope. The other problem I have, and other people are having, are the bugs on the map. Textures do seem to pop out at you sometimes, and you can't get through certain doors as well for some reason. There's teleporting issues, I've seen hitches whilst playing. It's not all very noticeable, but people actually abuse these bugs on games. It just makes it a pain to kill them. These bugs though are just smaller frustrations that can be dealt with by the devs. There's also at the moment a loading bug where if someone joins whilst you're just about to start the game, it actually stops the game from commencing until that person's left. Though there's not really any game breaking bugs at the moment anyway. The issue again is that people don't have their keys yet. It's taken them a while to email everyone for some reason. I mean, people have invested in the collector's edition or the pre-order bonus shit. You'd expect them to be in first line, but it's still a small issue. It's probably everyone will probably get their keys by the first week. At the end of the day though, I mean, there's not much bad things to say about the game. It's running perfectly. The small bugs like this are always common in the beta. The only thing they need to do now is stress test their servers and polish the game for a better experience. That's probably all the time I've got for this video. I found the game quite fun. I mean, I'll probably recommend this to anyone who wants to play more of a casual competitive game. Let's hope this community doesn't turn toxic like it has many other games. Let me know what you think about my thoughts on the game and your own thoughts as well. Thanks for watching.